Have you ever wondered if there's something more to animal instinct? I mean, we've all heard those stories, right? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the real science behind this, well, incredible phenomenon. It's a question that's fascinated people for like forever. You see a bird just take off for no reason, or your dog starts barking at, well, nothing. Is it just random? Or do they know something that we don't? And this is where it gets really interesting. We're not just talking about them sensing a threat that's right there. We're talking about them sensing danger before it even happens, before the ground even starts to shake, before that wave crashes ashore. I mean, how is that even possible?
I mean, the stories are just overwhelming. Think about it. Earthquakes, tsunamis, massive fires. Time and time again, you hear these reports of animals acting totally bizarre, getting out of dodge just moments before people even knew something was wrong.
It's almost like they get this secret warning, a message from the world that our senses just completely miss. So yeah, that's the big mystery we're going to try to unravel right here. So what is it? Some kind of sixth sense? Are animals psychic? Well, the answer from science is actually way more interesting than that. Nope, it's not magic. It's something much, much deeper, and it's all rooted in biology and the way they perceive the world. Okay, so to really get what's going on, we have to talk about something called sensory intelligence. Seriously, this is the key. It's what unlocks this whole mystery of how animals seem to know things they shouldn't. And what's so cool about this idea is that it's not about predicting the future. It's not a crystal ball. It's about perceiving the present moment with a level of detail that is, frankly, almost alien to us humans. It's like they're tuned into all these secret channels that we've just muted. And look, this kind of intelligence isn't for solving Sudoku puzzles or writing poetry. It's hardwired for one single purpose: survival. So let's dig into the biological toolkit that makes it all happen. Okay, so it all boils down to this. Animals are experiencing a world that is just so much richer sensorially than ours. Take an earthquake. Before it hits, the Earth lets out these super low-frequency rumbles, infrasound, that we can't hear at all. But an elephant? They hear it loud and clear. Or before a big storm, the air pressure changes in a way a bird can literally feel in its bones. See, they're not psychic, they're just incredibly sensitive. So how does all that sensory info turn into action? Well, that happens in the brain. And for animals, when it comes to danger, one little part really runs the show: the amygdala. Think of it as the brain's ancient built-in alarm system. It's the threat detection center. And the process is just, wow, it's so simple and brutally efficient. Their super senses pick up a tiny clue. The amygdala just screams danger, and the body moves instantly. There's no thinking about it, no weighing the pros and cons. It's just pure, unfiltered instinct. Let's put this into a real-world context, a really famous and tragic one, actually. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. It was an absolute catastrophe for humans, but for a lot of the animals in the area, the story was completely different. People who were there reported that long before anyone saw a wave, elephants started trumpeting and heading for the hills. Pet dogs got super agitated and flat out refused to go outside near the beaches. Whole flocks of flamingos just up and abandoned their nests near the water. They were all reacting to something. So what was it? Well, scientists have a name for it: pre-conscious threat detection. The animals weren't sitting there thinking, looks like a tsunami is on its way. No way. Their amygdalas were just freaking out, reacting to the tiny ground vibrations and the infrasound from the earthquake that was happening miles and miles away. And their survival instincts knew those signals meant one thing: get out of here, now. Which, of course, leads us to the biggest question of all, right? If all these signals are out there in the environment, why are we humans so completely oblivious to them? Well, the answer is all about how our brains are fundamentally wired. This really gets to the heart of it. Animals use something called bottom-up processing. Basically, raw data comes in from their senses, and boom, they react. But us, humans, we mostly use top-down processing. We get the same sensory data, but then our big logical brain has to get involved. We start asking questions like, wait, what does that mean? Is this really happening? Should I be worried? We think first. And sometimes that tiny hesitation can be fatal. I mean, it really comes down to this. If you feel a tiny tremor, what does your brain do? Your logic immediately says, oh, it's probably just a big truck driving by. An animal's instinct, it says, ground shaking is bad, run. They trust their senses 100%. We've been taught to trust our logical minds over everything else.
But you know what? This incredible sensory intelligence isn't just for escaping natural disasters. It also explains how animals can help us humans in these really personal, direct ways. It points to this deeper connection that we're only just starting to figure out.
And the stories are they're amazing. You hear about dogs who can sense the tiny biochemical shifts in their owner right before a seizure and warn them, or cats that smell smoke way before any smoke detector could. These aren't just lucky coincidences. There's real science behind it. And that science has a name: affective sensitivity. It's basically a super attunement to emotions and physiology. They are masters of pattern recognition. They know your normal smell, your normal breathing, your normal body language, and when something changes, even just a little bit, they notice and they react.
So, okay, we've looked at their super senses, their instinct-first brains, their incredible attunement to us, and all of this brings us to one last really crucial insight that kind of reframes this whole conversation.
And here it is, the big takeaway. We have to get rid of this idea that they're predicting things. Animals don't have a crystal ball. They're not looking into the future. What they're actually doing is something way more grounded and honestly, maybe even more amazing. They are simply exquisitely tuned instruments. They perceive the world as it is, right now, in this moment, with a kind of clarity that we've lost. They hear the rumble, they feel the pressure drop, they smell the tiny chemical changes, all of which are the present moment clues that a disaster is about to happen. And that brings us to the final question to leave you with. Maybe the real mystery isn't some supernatural power that animals have. Maybe the real mystery is a natural ability that we have, but we've let it go dormant. In a world so full of noise and distractions, and our own logical brains telling us to ignore that gut feeling, have we just forgotten how to listen? Not just to the world around us, but to the instincts deep inside us.